I was gonna make a video about One Day, but I couldn't talk about it without my bottom lip quivering. I just destroyed. For no reason, destroyed. There's no romance, what's the point? Just kidding, maybe. Darling. Yep, it's Anne, aka Antagonist. Welcome back to my channel, where we talk all things books, movie, and TV, with an emphasis on romance. We're doing a winter wrap-up today. Basically, I'm gonna talk about all the books I read, all the shows I binged, and all the movies I watched in winter. Because according to the clock, winter is over. I'm hoping to do this wrap-up every season, not only so I can keep myself accountable, but also so that I can talk about the books, movie, and TV that I consume, but that couldn't necessarily get its own separate video. And I also think it's gonna be really cool for us to talk about the movies and TV we consumed in winter, so feel free to comment down below. I would love to chit chat. Without further ado, let's get into it. So first, we're gonna start with everything I read this season. So the first book that I read is The Roughest Draft. This book was on my TBR for a hot minute, and I'm glad I got to it. The premise is two authors who write books together had a falling out way back when, but they have to come back together for one summer to write a book because money is tight. You know, we can relate. The economy sucks. So they're like, we'll come back together to write one more book to get that advance cash coin. And then they have to face the issues that broke them up in the first place. I don't want to speak too soon, but Friends to Lovers is back. Yes, I feel a Friends to Lovers renaissance coming on. I think Bridgerton season 3 is also gonna help with the revival. I hope she delivers, but The Roughest Draft definitely did. I really enjoyed the pining, the angst. Roughest Draft was a good meal. I would definitely recommend it. 4 stars. Next, I read Betting on You, which is a YA romance novel. Basically a Harry Met Sally retelling between two teens. They meet in an airport, but they really don't like each other. Then they continue to meet throughout the years as their relationship changes. This book was written by Lynn Painter, who wrote Better Than the Movies, which is a really popular book on TikTok. For Betting on You, this book was mid. I didn't really feel anything. I don't know, I read it. I barely remember the book. I just know that it was a Harry Met Sally retelling, but it didn't really say something, you know? Like Harry Met Sally, kind of the blueprint. This book was just blue. Like it didn't really deliver on anything. So I don't know, it was not my cup of tea. I'd probably give it like 2.5, 3 stars. Next we have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I read this book before the film came out, like about a week before. Actually, that's a lie. I read it like 2-3 days before I went to see the movie. So it was really fresh in the mind. And I really love this book. I'm so glad that I can finish the whole set. I have all the other Hunger Games books. Miss Collins, for me, she doesn't miss. I thought this book was so intricate. I don't know, like, I just was really gripped by the way, I was really gripped by Susan Collins' writing style at all times. I love the way she shaped Snow's character, just like the deep metaphor she has with each character. I think Suzanne Collins does a great job of creating characters that feel real, but also really represent an ideology, and I think it's really just, she be doing that. So I'd give it 4 stars as well. Okay. Next, in January, I read Even If the Sky is Falling, which is an anthology series, so a book full of short stories, all romance stories by romance authors. Listen, it was interesting. I did this for Kenya. If you watch her channel, Lily Reads, you should definitely go support. Really good channel. I did it as part of her book club, and she says this all the time. The book club is hit or miss, where she's trying to, you know, support different Black authors, and I think that's amazing, and I'm here for that support. But most of the stories in this anthology weren't my cup of tea. I do remember there were 2 that really stood out to me. I'm not gonna remember the names, but I'll put them on the screen. But I think it's cute. I like the idea of an anthology series where you can just pick and choose what you want to read. But overall, I'd give it 3 stars. Still interesting, but you know, not every single one of them hit. Most did. Then I read Love and Other Words, which was another book on my TBR. I had been postponing it. Sometimes I'll like remember the premise of a book and just put it low on my TBR, and then I'll completely forget why I did that. So with Love in Other Words, I originally put it low on my TBR because it was giving second chance romance vibes when I read a blurb. But then I was seeing a lot of content where they were advertising it as, you know, childhood friends to lovers, and I got duped. I was like, yeah, I love childhood friends to lovers. That's my cup of tea. That's where I'm supposed to be. How do I say? This book was mess for the sake of mess. It was like a telenovela, but without the spice. Like, no, things were happening. The tension was building. I was here for it. I was here for it. And then the reveal, the climax happened, and I was like, why? Just why?
Why? Why?
This book, I don't have words. I don't have words. I'll say 3 stars because I enjoyed myself most of the time. The ending just went crazy and I just couldn't deal with it. The last book was Say You'll Be Mine. This book was just what the doctor ordered. Yep. After those like books I had been reading, especially when it came to romance this winter, this saved us again. Say You'll Be Mine, chef's kiss. Officially, I have to say that me and fake dating, we go together like this. Yep, we go together like this because I eat good when it comes to fake dating. I'm a simple girl. I think it works. I have such a good time. I don't care that it doesn't make sense because I'm giggling, kicking up my feet. I think when it's done well, and Say You'll Be Mine did it just the way I wanted. Literally, it was what the doctor ordered. I read this book in one day, you know, and that hasn't happened in a minute. Like, I was in bed, started it, didn't get out of bed. So good. Had such a good time. Me and fake dating go together like this. Like this. For movies this winter, I watched The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes in theaters. I had a good time. I really like the music. I don't know, I heard that some people were complaining that it was too musical. You're dumb. Don't ever fix your mouth and say something like that again. I had a good time. I don't think it's the best adaptation. Like, given the source material, the film didn't 100% capture the themes that Suzanne Collins was giving in this book. However, I still enjoyed myself. I enjoyed going back to the world of the Hunger Games at a different time. And I enjoyed the 2 actors, especially Rachel Zegler. I think she did such a good job. Then I watched Anyone But You. Also watched this in theaters. I thought it was gonna be the rom-com revival. And according to box office it is, but according to my feelings, it's not. I thought it was mid. You can hear more of my thoughts on the film in this review that I did. I made a video about it, so don't want to talk about it too much, but I'm glad that it's reviving the rom-com genre in whatever way it can, because I'm pro that at all times. I just hope we get better ones. Sydney, keep practicing. Anyways, then I watched Players. This was a Netflix original starring Gina Rodriguez and one of the Wayans brothers' sons, kids. I love him. He's Coach from New Girl, okay? Anyways, I was bored. Yeah, this film was like, okay. Even though I said we're having a Friends to Lovers renaissance, these are the types of films that killed the Friends to Lovers streak that we had back in like the early 2000s, 90s. Like, I was bored, it was underdeveloped, and just no. Next, then I watched Love at First Sight, which is another Netflix rom-com. This movie had me screaming, crying, throwing up. Yep. And you know me, I'm not an insta-love girly. I love a slow burn, but this film, yeah. I don't even want to talk too much. Just go watch it. Just press play. Just press play. I also, around the holidays, watched Holidate again. I'm ashamed to say that, but it's true. I felt like a need to turn it on and watch it. And I was like rewatching scenes that I thought were cute. Like, what is wrong with me? This film objectively is not good. But I went back and I felt like this was the kind of holiday movie I needed. So I feel like that says more about me than it does the film, but I gotta be honest with you guys, so there it is. Then I watched Upgraded, which is a Amazon Prime original film starring Camila Mendes and Archie. Yeah, this film was cute. It was cute. Now, Miss Camilla, she is in her chick flick rom-com bag. And I need y'all to take notes. And I need y'all to put some respect on her name. Because they've been hits so far. I haven't really seen an issue. She's good. I'm kind of following her. To the ends of the earth? I don't know yet. But pretty far. We're trying to wash out that Riverdale stain and make way for the greatness that she has in store for us. So, me and Camilla,
We see each other.
then I watched American Fiction. This was my poor attempt to watch the movies that had been nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. And I'm embarrassed to report that the only films I've watched are Barbie and American Fiction.
Well, she
Anyways,
tried. At
American
least,
Fiction,
you know, she...
I thought some characters were underdeveloped, some characters that could have been, some plot points should have been talked about more, some themes needed to be, you know, really ironed out. But overall, I really think that the ending saved it. I think the ending was so smart, and I really enjoyed how they wrapped it up there. But the middle was a little fuzzy. But still, art. Still art. And I respect that. And last, let's get into the TV shows that I watched this winter. Queen Charlotte. Yeah, I was like, I want to watch Queen Charlotte again. Why? Just because. Because I can. Yeah. And also, I feel like as Bridgerton season 3 comes up, I'm missing the Regency era world, so I wanted to get back into it. And I also may have seen a clip of Charlotte and George, and I was like, yeah, we need to reconsume the show in its entirety and cry again. Okay, next, I watched One Day. See, I was gonna make a video about One Day, but I couldn't talk about it without my bottom lip quivering. And I think I'm finally okay and ready to talk about it now, but it's still prickly behind the eyes. I just destroyed. For no reason, destroyed. And you know what's terrible? I have seen the Anne Hathaway, rendition of the film. In fact, I turned on that movie back in 2011 thinking I was gonna get a cute little rom-com, and then I was destroyed and I couldn't watch anything for weeks because emotionally distraught. How would I have seen the ending coming? None of us did. So when the show was announced, I was like, why would I put myself through the pain again? But then I saw clips. I'm probably gonna talk about this a little bit longer. Let's just stay in this moment here. First episode, I was a little like, I don't know. It's not really making sense. Am I convinced? Then second episode, the letters. And I was like, ooh, I do like letters. Those are cute. Episode 3, hooked. Yep, this scene.
Come lie down with me.
They got me. Bamboozled. And I just think that it's the kind of show that gets people to interpret the characters' actions and feelings so differently. And I really love that. Like when I look at the discourse around One Day, I see a lot of people saying that they believe Dexter was in love with her from the jump. Others saying Emma was the reason that a lot of the issues were there because of her low self-esteem. I just think it's so interesting to see all the differing ranges. Other people think Dexter's low self-esteem kept him from pursuing things with her. I don't know what it is. Well, I do have my theories. Anyways, I just think we've all been hurt by this show. And I will be charging them for my therapy bills. Thank you.
So I completely forgot to talk about the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'll be frank with y'all. I did not finish the show. Yeah. DNF'd a show. That is almost unheard of for me. I'm big on the thought of I can't really criticize something that I haven't finished or watched. That's why I sometimes will finish books even if I hate them, or same thing with shows or movies, just so I can talk smack. So because I didn't finish this, I'm gonna keep this brief. I watched the first 2 episodes and I could not do it. I could not do it. They had removed all the spark, all the fire, all the magic that was present in the original series. And if you don't know this about me, Avatar: The Last Airbender is my favorite show of all time. Of all time. So it was going to be hard to please me, but it's, at least in the first 2 episodes, it didn't even seem like they were trying. Like, I was bored. All the choices they were making didn't make sense to me, and then the acting was just hurting me, so I had to stop for my sanity. So yeah, that's the truth. Big sigh. Big sigh. And that's all I've got to say.
Me, like the rest of the world, I watched season 6 of Love is Blind. Listen, this is the second time a brunette on Love is Blind has been called or claimed that they look like Megan Fox. Let Megan Fox rest. Let her rest. She has not been involved by the show. She's not sponsored. Please stop pretending you don't know who she is and refer to her by her fiance, husband, whoever that guy is. Please be serious. The fact that Clay could get on the show without understanding what the show was tells me everything that is wrong with casting at Love is Blind. And AD, stand up.
Stand up!
Please.
Stand up!
Please. The last show that I started, but I'm still currently watching, is Survivor. I don't know who my favorite is to win, but I'm having a good time. I'm really loving it. Me and my family, we always watch Survivor every Wednesday night. It's a tradition. So I'm gonna be there every season. Every season. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. Did you enjoy this wrap-up format? Let me know. Have you read, watched, or binged any of the things that I talked about? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you're new to this channel, definitely snoop around, look at my other videos. I have my Romance Trope Thursday series, funny edits that'll definitely make you kiki and laugh. And if you subscribe, you get, what? 99% hotter. So go ahead and do that. I'm doing you a favor. I'm trying to make you hot. Press that button, watch it happen. Watch the people around you change, because you're 99% hotter. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Darling, you